Ah, now you can hear me, hopefully. Maybe not. Let's see.
Okay,
Yes, my volume.
Now I can hear you.
I can hear you too.
Where's everybody?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Huh.
I do not know. Are we an hour early or something? I don't know.
No, it's 11. It's 5 minutes past 11 in
because I think it's supposed to be at 12, no?
No, it's supposed to be at 11. Always been 11. Yes.
I don't know what time it's meant to be in Spain. I only know what time. Well, after the time change, I have no idea when it's meant to be, even in Australia.
Oh my gosh. I have only 20 minutes. Because it's an emergency, you know. The vet just made a little time for me, because I call him, like, I'm starting to be worried for her. And lesson of the week, the biggest lesson of the week, I have to follow my instinct. Tell you the story. Today is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So Wednesday, I went for the evening walk with my dogs. You know, I have two. And one of them was making pooping, shitting, whatever. So I was just, you know, taking and collecting from the street. And the other one was behind. And she was a certain moment like pulling the leash, see? And so then when I turned, I saw it was like a mountain, like a big quantity of kind of rest of rices and chicken, or like if someone has thrown it like on the street. Weird. Just very close, very close to a restaurant, but on the street. And I was like, I don't know how much of this my dog has eaten. It's very weird, this amount of food just thrown on the street. I'm going to go to the vet, and so they put an injection to her to make her vomit. So I went to the vet, and the vet said, well, maybe someone just full some food because it was at the door of a restaurant. But don't worry, I don't think it's going to be nothing like strange, like poison or something. And I was like, maybe we should. So it's one day vomiting and then clean. Or even if she's not used to eat human food, just pieces of bread, but it's just dog food, what she eats. What should I do? And like my instinct, there was like a voice here. Do the injection, go for the injection, go for the injection. But, you know, okay, the vet is the professional. Okay, I will wait. Since then, the dog refused any food, like no food at all. And since yesterday, no drink. No drinking is what worries me.
Yes, that's definitely not a good sign.
So I call exactly. So I called him again this morning and said, okay, come at 11:30 and we will check her. So I have to go. So that's the lesson of my week. Follow your instinct. And it does work, Menno. It does work. It's like a voice. Sometimes I feel it here, and sometimes I feel it in my chest. Sometimes I feel it in my stomach. It's like something is. Or when something is wrong, I don't know you, but when something is wrong, I feel like kind of a stomach pain. That's a stomach pain? Stomach ache.
You know that there's actually very interesting research about it. So they discovered that the gut bacteria is actually able to pick up on things that we are not able to. And so the gut feeling is actually the gut bacteria, which is a secondary brain. And it's able to pick up on things that we are not able to pick up with our own brains.
Seriously.
Yeah, so when you feel that gut feeling, it's actually a second brain that is picking up on things that you don't know, but your bacteria know.
Oh,
This
I
is
must
why
research
I believe, for example, that
and read more about it.
yes. So this is why I believe that inside our body we have these little bacteria, and I believe that the cells are like little solar systems, for example. So inside of us we have these tiny little solar systems. I think that the same thing happens with our solar system. We are a little cell, or we are little creatures inside of a cell in a much bigger entity, which is so big that we can't measure it, obviously. And so when we pray to God, when we pray to Spirit, when we pray to the universe, I think that that's actually like the entity that we are inside of. And because we are a part of the bacteria, or we are a bacteria inside of that, there is this connection. Without the human body, we have to look for a different cell to be a part of a different human, of a different entity. Without the bacteria, the human is going to be sick. And so there's this really interesting balance between, and a lot of people don't realize that you have to eat well, you have to look after yourself, because you are looking after the gut bacteria, and the gut bacteria need us, but also vice versa, even though we're afraid of germs. But those gut bacteria are extremely important. They give us that gut feeling, and we need each other. Without the gut bacteria, we get sick. Without us, the gut bacteria have nowhere to live. So it's a really fascinating thing.
It is indeed. It is. I must research more and dig more, because yeah, that I've been noticing or being aware of this, say, kind of instinct talking to me for the last maybe 10 years. And I'm never wrong. If I follow my instinct, I know that I'm never wrong. Never.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. And I should have done this with my dog, but honestly, it's like, okay, I know nothing about dogs. It's my first time with dogs. It's like, okay, I follow the direction of the professional, right? Oh, Jessie, hola.
Yes, Jesse.
Hello.
Yeah.
Like your
Probably
start.
wondering what on earth happened, because it's like, wow, so much information.
No, I actually have been taking notes. I wrote "You're learning today," Amelia. And it's something else.
Can I add one more thing, Amelia, before you go around that as well? So
and me too, as far as language.
So always follow your gut instinct is extremely important. Always follow it, because it is a second brain and it has advanced knowledge that you don't know about. The other thing is, be extremely careful of experts. So we've grown up in a society where we learn to follow and do what the experts say. There's a number of studies where they took nurses who know what lethal doses are and what not lethal doses are. And they would take a fake doctor who would call them on the phone in a hospital setting. And so the nurse hasn't met this doctor, doesn't know whether this person is a doctor. The doctor calls and says, I am Dr. Such and Such. I need you to go to room 607 right now, and I need you to administer X milligrams of this medication to this patient. And this is a deadly dose. And the nurses will go because a doctor said so, because they've been trained to follow doctor's orders. They will go, and they have to be stopped at the door and told of the experiment, because they will just blindly follow. There was another famous story, and pilots are also very famous for this. So the captain is the commander-in-chief, and the co-pilot, especially in Asian cultures, they will just do whatever the captain says, even if they know that the captain is wrong. There's a famous story of a World War II pilot who was a national hero, and he was training with somebody behind him. And before the plane had actually left the ground, the captain asked for the co-pilot to lift the landing gear, but they were still rolling on the landing gear, and it was a propeller airplane. And the student managed to survive, and the pilot died because he lifted the gear and the propeller cut the head of the pilot off. And afterwards, they asked him, why did you do it? And he said, something was telling me that I shouldn't, because I knew that we were still on the ground. but he said this was a decorated war pilot. He had been in like 100 and something dogfights, and he was like one of the most well-known pilots. So I just felt that I needed to do what he said. So I've learned from all of those studies, never trust an expert. If somebody tells you something that goes against your gut feeling, second opinion, third opinion, look for somebody else that will corroborate your gut feeling, because very often experts get it wrong. And in Western society, we place way too much emphasis on somebody's expertise than we really should.
And I mean, not only that, but the word expert is kind of really thrown around nowadays too.
Yes.
So, if I could just mention about the vocabulary use, I think a better word for this is not instinct, but intuition. I think there's a difference between instinct. Instinct is like what your dog has, but we have these higher faculties, and this is the intuition which we can choose to follow. And that's something
beyond just what we can feel and what is natural to us. It goes a step beyond, so we can tell things from other realms, from other times, from different things like that.
Yeah. So that's what I would say. Follow your intuition.
Wow. So
Lesson of the week.
Lesson of the week. Not very good news, but it is made for a very interesting discussion and something that we can all use. And I'm looking forward to also sharing the video so that everybody else can watch the video and learn the lesson as well, because I think it's valuable and it's really, really good for you to have shared it so that other people can learn from it as well.
Sure. Well, at the end, the intuition also, this is a big thing, or at least to me is a big thing, that what is happening with my dog today. But it's also the way when you hunt the words, yes. Go back to the language. You use a little bit also your intuition. I mean, I use also my intuition. So like, it sounds like probably is not. I don't look up. Honestly, I don't look up every word I don't understand or every sentence I don't understand. Otherwise, I will be just
too busy.
Just in the dictionary, live in the dictionary directly. I mean, no way. Just like, because my intuition or something tells me that this maybe will help you or interest you or amuse you. Because some words I know that I'm not going to use it, but amuse me. It has the function of teach me. No, yo la llevo. See, sorry.
It's okay.
Family discussion. And what I was saying, like sometimes the words are useful and enrich my vocabulary, and sometimes it's just to amuse myself. Like we said many times, right? Like I'm a pack rat of words. It's because it's fun for me.
Yeah.
Right.
So I follow my intuition also when I hunt for language. See, definitely.
One thing
so it's very valuable.
One thing that I always do is before I look up a word, I will see if I can use the etymology or suffixes or other things that I already know about the language to see whether I'm able to then guess what the word is before I look it up. And very often I will actually know what the word means before I look it up based on my gut feeling of what is this word telling me based on what I already know. But on that note, it's already 9:19. I want to make sure that you're able to get to the vet on time. So maybe start getting ready to pack up, and then you can let us know what your
my goals. This is my lesson, my goals, and everything. Like tack.
There you go.
Goals for the week. Goals for the week. After the workshop I follow yesterday, an amazing workshop that all of you, I highly recommend you, by a fantastic English teacher in Sevilla. This week,
I'll have to look him. I'll have to follow him on Instagram.
I'm going to choose two good, or at least for me, two good blogs. One for cooking and one for just, let's say, business in general. And start the hunting follow with those blogs. So first two blogs. Then in terms of accountability, and this has to happen. I have to write down another post for my blog, for my cooking blog.
This week.
Okay. And well, I cannot share you the emails I usually send to Dubai for business, right? Well, I shouldn't share with you. Or maybe a little part. I don't know. Well, I'll do it and I'll tell you that I do it. I can share it with you.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Follow your intuition.
I'll see. Basically,
or just write in the Telegram group, done. You know?
Yeah. Because this week, I mean, I've been, confession, I've been, ¿cómo se dice en inglés? Procrastinate?
Procrastinating.
In English?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like tomorrow, procrastinating, right?
Mm-hmm.
An email that it's a long email that I have to prepare for a customer there. And I've been 7 days saying to myself, tomorrow will be the day.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
And the thing that has stopped me is, again, okay, it has to be in English. Okay, let's see how it's going to sound. Let's see, maybe it's not going to be clear enough. Maybe, no way.
No, you got to do it. Menno's probably charging his computer. I also just posted in the Telegram group the notes, if that helps you, the notes from the workshop yesterday. Like the questions, the list of questions and things. So
this email I'm talking about, I have to do it on Sunday because it's like Monday, no? Like the first day of the week in Emirates.
Yeah.
So Sunday is a very calm day for me. So morning, after nice breakfast, coffee, sit down for an hour and prepare it. So these two blogs, this important email for me done on Sunday, and for next Friday, my new post on my blog. Vale?
Done.
Goals for my week. It's 11:23.
Yes, it's time to start going to the vet.
I will, if you don't mind, I will feel better because I've shared with you my problems. I will share you the solution with my dogs too.
My intuition is telling me that I want you to go.
Yes.
I always follow my intuition.
Bye, Amelia. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming and sharing.
Thank you very much.
Hey, where's Carmen, by the way? I'm going to yell at her.
Yes.
No idea, because today we didn't talk even, so we are divorced.
I'm gonna
we are divorced.
Temporarily.
No. I don't know. If you know about her, just tell her that text me back.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
We
go.
Text her, yes.
Okay. So I missed the first part. So our dog had some like stomach thing.
So one dog was doing his business while the other dog was eating food that he found on the street, and hasn't eaten and hasn't been drinking since.
Yeah.
And Amelia didn't get the injection to get him to throw up, which probably would have been a better idea because the vet said, "Oh, there's probably no poison in there, so there's no point to getting him to throw up, because once a dog throws up, it'll throw out all the bad stuff." But she didn't do that, so he hasn't been eating for 2 days, 3 days.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, the drinking is the really scary one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we continue in the mastermind?
We shall. We shall. We
Okay.
shall. So shall we haven't read the creed, so shall we have a look at now that it's the two of us? Who of us has read the creed?
I already wrote it. I already put the notes, and it's my turn. I already scrolled while you guys were talking, while I was coming in, and I'm on top of it. I may come a little late, but I'm on top of it.
You're probably so confused by the rest of the conversation. You're like, I'll see if I can find something productive to do while I'm trying to figure out what the hell these people are talking about.
No, I caught up because, I mean, it was easy. And I managed to get her lessons in there and her goals. So we're all set. Can you share me the screen, or allow me to share the screen?
I can. There we go.
Okay.
Do you want to also send Carmen an SMS maybe, in case she hasn't seen the Telegram, but she might see an SMS?
Okay, let's check it out. Send her a WhatsApp.
I don't know what's best, or what she sees the easiest or reacts to the most. So, for example, my message.
I guess not the Telegram.
My messenger is chock-a-block. Way too many messages in there. SMS works a lot better, but even that's been slow recently. So, I'm not follically challenged, but I am messagingly challenged.
Generally, WhatsApp is probably the best way to get to me. Because, like you said, messengers work. So like if I'm not like in working hours, then if I see the messenger icon, I just kind of swipe it to get it away. But WhatsApp, I take a little extra second, because it could be personal. It could be like you, it could be, it could be family, friends, whatever. Okay. So it's my turn.
Yes.
I am an English learner and a member of the Soaring Eagles. I focus on my learnings and the learnings of my team. I make time for some English every day. Cancel. Start over.
I didn't want to say anything, but I saw where that was headed.
I was too busy trying to sound. I was too busy trying to be a voice actor. Okay. I am a language learner and a member of the Soaring Eagles.
Maybe we should change it and actually type it in as language. I don't know.
Do you think so? Because I guess it would depend on if people learning more in other languages join us.
Well, I think that it's interesting because everything that we've done has gone to show that it's about more than English, more than language as well. But for example, Amelia's really felt that she's learned more Spanish through it, and she's really analyzing her Spanish as well. So I think language could potentially be good.
I think so too, right?
And I tell you a trick here. Have you ever, or I don't know if it works in Docs, in Word, if you type in Control H, you can, I don't know if it's going to work in Docs though.
Oops. Nope. That just did that.
So if you do Control H in Word, it will bring up swap, and then you can say, I want to swap every word that says English and swap it to language.
I don't know how I would do that in, and it might be a matter of Mac too, or it might be Docs.
Are you a Mac boy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but not my phone.
Not your phone.
And besides, I don't want to change all English anyway, because there are probably lots of notes down here that, that I put English that wouldn't be appropriate in, during my language time, during my English time for the, I can just change it 3 times here.
Let's see if anyone notices next time they have to do the creed.
My money's on the will.
I think so. But they might also just read it and think that it's natural, and then later on it's like, oh, wait, hang on a minute.
It's funny. Things like that and riddles and word plays and word riddles. Non-native speakers are usually much better at that than native speakers.
Yes.
Because they take time, they notice the language, right? So like riddles like, how many months have 28 days? You know, that, yeah. So usually they will catch on a lot faster. They'll get that answer a lot better than
they're not
native
programmed
speakers.
to just answer. They're programmed to actually take time to look at the language and see if they can actually figure out the question, which makes it more.
Yeah, and it actually has to process, right? The words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did I finish this?
Looks at it and goes, oh, yep, know the answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, because like it's just like to the end goal. Like it's like cut to the chase. Cut to the chase.
It's actually described in a book, Thinking Fast and Slow, by a guy called Daniel Kahneman. And two parts of the brain, the fast thinking and the slow thinking. So when we need a shortcut, when we need something done that's automatic, so for example, driving, once we've driven for a while, it goes from the slow thinking brain to the fast thinking brain. And so it will cut out steps in order to be able to execute it more quickly. So it doesn't have to think about things that it's already learned. And so it's the same with language. When you're asking a question like that, the native speaker is going to be using the fast brain. The non-native speaker is still using the slow brain for that process.
That makes sense.
I'm glad that we are creating some great content for everybody to watch after this.
Yeah.
Amelia will appreciate this too. Yay.
Yeah. And driving, I mean, it's the automatic behavior, right? That drives most of our day.
Yes.
I was just listening about that this morning.
This is why it's difficult to actually change your habits or change your mindset around things, because your brain has automated it for so many years that it says, okay, this is how I perceive myself. This is how I perceive myself. I've been perceiving myself like this for so long. If I let anybody attack that, I lose my sense of self-worth and understanding of who I am. I lose my place in my own little picture of what my world is. And so I don't want anybody to attack it. And so we have to attack it ourselves, but we have this resistance because it's a part of the fast thinking brain now.
And it's a similar, like the conscious and subconscious mind, right? That's kind of what it is. It's the intuition that goes back to, it's funny how we have themes that just happen to go through an entire session, right?
Yes.
That is the intuition.
In this group, and our lessons are automatically what we need to talk about and what we are all dealing with in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, we're probably all dealing with these same things all the time. And it just kind of comes up to the surface when somebody brings it up. That's why it happens a lot when you say your lesson, or I say my lesson first, and you're like, yeah, I'm learning that same thing. It's like, yeah, we're all learning, you know. But anyway, shall I read this creed?
I'll share one more thing very quickly, and then I'll let you read the creed. It's interesting because it's not just us in the group, but it's throughout history. Because there's a book in China which was called Wisdom's Way. And it was the emperors of China who had scribes, and they'd write down every wise decision that was made. And unfortunately, the Maoists decided that they were going to burn like 80% of the book during the Cultural Revolution. But what remains actually goes to show that even though this happened like 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, the decisions and the problems and the challenges that people had were exactly the same as the ones that we have now, only the technology's changed. Great book, by the way, as well. But I'm going to let you read the creed. Okay.
I am a language learner and a member of the Soaring Eagles. I focus on my learnings and the learnings of my team. I make some time for some language every day. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. My mission to achieve my language goals ranks highly. I have the back of my fellow team members. Together, we achieve our objectives. I am disciplined, trained, and physically tough for the challenges of learning languages. I always set high standards for myself, but show myself respect. I am an expert and I am a professional. I am always ready to take action to become a fluent language speaker. Could put foreign language speaker. I am a proud Soaring Eagles member.
Yay.
I set high standards for myself, but show myself respect.
For me today, I'm always ready to take action.
Ah, nice. Nice. Okay, I already took the initiative to put you first for your learnings.
Okay, very good. My learning for this week, I have noticed that there was something that I used to use that I wanted to start using again. So I'm also going to put this in my goals. And that is, I used to write down my goals every single day. So today I was sitting there and I was thinking, what exactly were my language goals? And I knew that I'd gotten some of it done, but I wasn't really exactly specifically clear. So I thought, you know what? I remember this time where I used to sit down and I'd have my goals and I'd write them down first thing every morning. And that was the first thing that I focused on. And I knew exactly what my goals were, which meant that it was extremely easy for me to write down my tasks for what I need to do today, because they're all linked to the goals, which means that I can reject any ideas for tasks that I want to do that are unrelated to my goals. So I remember we started sending everybody their goals at the end of the session. What I would like to do is, one, get a copy of the goals once I've written them down, or once you've typed them in and sent them through in the Telegram. And then every morning write down what my goals are, so that I can have maybe 2 or 3 lines with my business goals, 2 or 3 lines with my language goals, and 2 and 3 lines with my personal goals. And then I can make my to-do list focused on and thinking about those goals.
Okay. So what should I put for the learn? I put, I'm reminded about how important it is for me to write my goals for each day, which makes it easier to do my daily task list. And then I guess that's enough for the learnings. And then for the goals part, I'll put what you just said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's a combination learning goals this week.
Learnals.
Yes.
Learnals. So what are your goals? What are you going to do this week?
So the goals for this week, I want to really focus in on my language this week. I want to hunt with it written down. I'm going to continue with multiple languages. I'm going to use 3 techniques per week. So for example, children's book, audio, and video. And I'm going to internalize with memory techniques. So with Chinese, that's already become a bit easier. Once I have the basics for Chinese, it means that I can then take other words that I know in Chinese and use that to associate with new words. So for example, let's say that there is a word which is 2 syllables and it might be, let's say, ping an. That way, if the word ping has a meaning, I can picture what that is. and then I take the un, and I take the image of what that by itself means to create the two, and then I can say, okay, let's take the image of those two and have that interact with whatever the actual meaning of the word ping an as a contraction is.
Very nice. Using the memory techniques.
Using the memory techniques.
Okay. I like it. That's all?
No,
I have like 4 lines written or 3 lines written. Okay.
How much more would you like me to add?
Nothing. Nothing. Less is more. So, excellent. I wrote it, since you wrote it and said it in kind of a list, I wrote down exactly what you said.
Yep.
So, okay. So for me, as per my homework yesterday in our other, our session,
yes, I was going to ask. I was going to do that at the end. I wanted to let you just do everything else first, but I was very curious about your homework.
Oh, well, I guess we can do that at the end. So my learning, I'm continuing to, kind of like what Amelia said, lean into my intuition and find the flow. Like my daily focus is to find the flow in different areas of my life. And again, one of the biggest learnings that I'm continuing to learn is strengthen myself to strengthen what's around me, right? Business, relationship, kids, fun, friends, whatever. Strengthen myself to be a leader, right? That's the biggest thing.
Be in every area.
What?
To be the best you can be in every area, I'm assuming.
Kind of a little different than that. So that's kind of goes with what we were talking about last week with Carmen, like put out all the fires. Like what I'm learning is to do that, I have to be the best me. Yep. And then from that, it's like the light spreads, right? It's kind of like the moon on a foggy night, like focus on me. And then it ripples out.
It was foggy night.
Right. So I guess that's it. Let me write that down. On strengthening me and finding the flow and living in the flow.
Oh, very nice.
And following my intuition to live my best life. So that's my learning. And then for my goals,
I don't until you.
I've been using Spanish a lot more, and I've been intentional and improving a lot more. I guess what really I need to do, I'm gonna focus on internalizing and continue to ask when I need help, when I have questions, and when I want to say something correctly. So I'm gonna internalize at least 3 new expressions or important words and use them in context this week.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So
I am very buoyed by sharing that you are speaking a lot more Spanish. So I know that you were speaking a bit of Spanish and that you weren't focused on it directly, but the fact that you have got more focus on it and that you've embraced the idea of adding Spanish for yourself in the mastermind, makes me very happy to see, and I love seeing your progress, and I can just see you beaming and so happy about where you're taking it. So that just makes me extremely happy. I hope it does.
Yeah, it does make me happy, and it makes me like it makes me think, man, what was I doing this whole time? Like I could have just been intentional, right? But then you get in your rhythm, right? So, but yeah, just being intentional and asking when, like, hey, how do you say that correctly? You know what I mean? And then usually it's just like a little tweak or something like that. And yeah, it's about internalizing it then. Yeah, I've told my wife, I've asked my wife, I've asked like my best friend who's Spanish. I was like, just take these, like this little example. Like I said a little an expression, a sentence, a small sentence that could be really common. And I was like, how do you say that correctly? And like, just give me those little like drops every once in a while. That's what I'm asking for. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Awesome. By the way, what did your wife think of your newfound Spanish?
She's helping me more and correcting me more, whereas before it was just like, you know, let the communication go, right?
Yeah, whatever. But it's okay. I understand you.
Exactly, that kind of thing. So like now she's a little more proactive too, and it's good. So now, like my business, it's funny because the thing that I came out with last night in my meditation time, with my intentional meditation to come up with this, right? I think I came up with the conclusion, and you can confirm this based on what you know too. And it was the same conclusion that I came up with when it was, hold on a second, I'll be right back.
Amelia, just for you, the coconut water. And look at this, Amelia. See this, Amelia, with a glass. Oh.
You're not like a caveman drinking out of the thing.
No, I'm very refined now.
So it's actually the same character that was my first intuition, my first thing when you said about who's the character. And then I came to the same conclusion in my meditation. And I thought Batman. What do you think?
I think Batman definitely could be it. When I see you, if I have to give you a comic character, I would give you Batman probably.
Oh, very nice, very nice. But I also wanted to draw a distinction between me and like the ego method, the me and like what it is. So yeah, and what brought me to that was my main purpose is empowering people, right? Empowering people to rise above their challenges, or empower people to rise above what they've thought about themselves when it comes to English. And that's kind of what he does in Gotham, right? In Gotham City, empowers, you know, the people to join together, to unite, to fight against crime, you know, to not lay down. And I think that's really common. And like, he doesn't necessarily have a superpower,
no,
you know, and so and he's kind of refined, but kind of like rough too. And I'm just silly enough to think that like a half mask and then changing my voice like this could hide my identity.
You sound like you have a good voice for it, my friend.
So, and besides, on all my slides, they all have a black background with like the gold color. So that goes already with that too.
So now you can start taking that and having a look at, okay, so from a marketing point of view, from a advertising point of view, from lots of different points of view, from sales call points of view, you can have a look at how can I incorporate that? Because if this is my brand needs to be consistent throughout. Now it makes it much easier to be consistent throughout the brand because one, you can use ideas from movies that you've seen that are Batman movies. You can use imagery that makes you think of Batman. You can use all these different elements, wording, scripts, and different other things that are linked to Batman, which gives it a very even kind of distribution among everything in a very similar fashion.
Interesting. Yeah.
So you can go through, for example, and look at movie posters and like, what can I use from this? You can look at scripts and like, what can I use from this? The movie itself, what can I use from this? Different things, and say, what can I use from this because it's going to be my branding. The only other thing that I was thinking of, which was very funny, is when you were talking about eagle. Well, the fact that it's the eagle method is something I remember from when I'm very young. I don't know if you would have ever seen. Well, maybe you might have. Roger Ramjet.
No.
No? Oh,
no.
So it's like a cartoon of an American fighter pilot who's a bit of a klutz, and it's really short, and it's based on Yankee Doodle Dandy. It's like Roger Ramjet and his men, da 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 da, and it's just like this short little cartoon, and it was just really funny. I'll see if I can find one on YouTube and send it to you.
Yeah, definitely don't know about that.
I'm surprised. I know about it growing up in Australia, and you never saw it in America.
No.
That's quite bizarre.
Do you know what network it was on?
It was on Australian network, so I don't know what network it was on.
Yeah, but it was American?
Yeah.
Maybe Canadian?
No, it was definitely American. Roger Ramjet with Yankee Doodle Dandy as the musical accompaniment.
Yeah, yeah.
No way that'd be Canadian. They'd sooner turn in their graves. Listen, man, don't call me an American. I'm a Canadian.
Yeah.
Can you tell the inflection at the end of the sentence? Huh?
A?
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 My sentence goes up at the end, eh?
Hey, sentence is good. And they're a little more kind up there, too.
No further comments on that one. I'm going to just leave that one alone.
Well, I didn't necessarily say that as a compliment.
That's why I said I'm just leaving it alone. Leaving it alone.
Nice. Anything else for today?
Actually, I have an activity again for next week, just like we did a word search last week.
Awesome.
If Carmen was here and if Amelia was here, I would have had an activity, but we can save that for next week, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm not sure how I'm going to run it yet or how long it would take, but I have a few fun ideas for this activity.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome. Carmen sent
I'm not going to spoil it because if we put it into the recording, it will not work because everybody like, oh, I know it's coming up.
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure. Carmen sent me a reply. She said, hi, sorry, and then sent me a voice message. So I'll have to listen to that later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please let her know that there is no judgment, but that we are keen to see her next week. And I would like to say that I highly recommend everybody come next week because the activity is going to be awesome.
Awesome. I'll let John know too.
Yes.
I'll see what's up with him. He was at sea. I don't know for how long.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are looking forward to having the whole family back together.
Yes. Yes. Cool. Okay. I think that's all.
I think so. I have to get ready to go to bed and do a couple of other things. But let's stay in touch over the weekend and have a talk about all these other things as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's keep in touch about that. And that would be very useful. And you have a good nap or good sleep.
Yes, I think it's going to be a bit longer than a nap, but
Yeah.
good. I can imagine why you're saying nap, because
Yeah, because it's
in your
noon.
time zone, it's like, go to bed now?
It's 12 noon, and naps are big here. So
Siesta.
I'm going to take one later. I didn't get much sleep last night.
Okay, then this was a great session. And what I would like to say is, even if it's just 5 seconds, 10 seconds, even if you're just acknowledging that you're busy and you have seen everybody else posting in the group, if you have more time, obviously put in more in the group, because the group is amazing and it is where the magic happens. So make sure, everybody, that you are in the Telegram. If you have time, when you have time, let us know what you thought of the recording, because if you were not here personally, we'd love to know that you watched and what you thought and what you got from the recording as well. That's why we record it. And we miss you all, Carmen, Amelia, John. We are looking forward to seeing you all again. And hopefully, Amelia, your little bundle of joy is doing a lot better now, and you've been able to come up with a good solution, and he's back to physical good health. And Carmen, hopefully you've been busy with good things and you are keeping calm and stress-free, because life is wonderful when you choose the easy way. And John, hopefully you have had a good catch at sea and are back on dry land having a good time. And we're looking forward to seeing you as well. And Jesse, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
And Menno, thank you for coming.
And then we'll see you all next week and throughout the week on Telegram. Every day, hopefully. Every day, every day, every day.
Every day. Every day. Carmen, every day.
And Jesse, every day.
And Jesse, every day. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.